In this video, we're going to be having a look at the Reolink E1 and E1 Pro cameras. We're going to unbox them, give them a setup, and review them, having a look at the features as we go. Now, apologies in advance for this video being quite so long. It's my first time trying to make a video off script, and it's my first time doing an unboxing review kind of video. Now, make sure you stick around, and if you like what you see, hit subscribe below so you don't miss out on future videos. Hi, I'm Will from Surridge Tech, and today we're going to have a look at these PTZ Reolink cameras. Now before we start, I should say that these cameras were sent to me for free by Reolink for me to review and share with you my thoughts on. I'm going to go through unboxing these, showing you the comparisons between the two cameras that I've got in front of me, and then we're going to look at setting them up and I'll show you the features of them. So here we have the E1 range. We have the E1 and we have the E1 Zoom. There is also a Pro, which kind of sits in the middle here. But I thought there wasn't much point in comparing that, because if you want the cheap one, you get the cheap one. And if you want the one with features, you get the one with the features, which obviously costs more money. So let's go ahead and unbox them. Now then. On the top, ooh, this one, we have an instruction manual, maybe? Oh no, a CE Declaration of Conformity. We can ignore that. Oh, we also have one of those in there. Now in the top we have Be Prepared, Be Reolink. I'm guessing this is a user manual. Oh, we've got some stickers. Now this is useful. This is a little mounting template. So it tells you where you need to put your screws if you wanted to mount this to a wall or a ceiling or something. We've got a little Reolink sticker that tells us that there's surveillance going on. And we've got our manual. It actually says Reolink E1 series. So I imagine it's going to be exactly the same in the E1 box. And it is. Okay, next I'm guessing is the power supply and some mounting hardware. So this is your mounting bracket. It's a little round bit of plastic with some tabs, and those holes, as you can see, line up with the template. So it's nice and easy to mount it. We've also got some fixing screws, a pin, which I'm guessing is for releasing it, and some raw plugs, which we'll ignore. And then we've got the power supply. This is a 5-volt 1-amp power supply. Comes with two different heads, so either you've got a European one or a British one. I'm sure if you're ordering this in different countries, you'll probably get different heads. And it's actually got a very, very small DC connector to it. That's fine. Then in the E1, the plain E1, we have, I'm hoping, exactly the same. Oh, would you look at that? And then lastly in the box, we have the camera itself. And this is the camera, or the two cameras. The E1 Zoom seems to have a slightly bigger body. I don't know if you can see it. On the back you can see they've got the speaker, and it's got the small DC jack input. On the front we've obviously got our camera. If we remove this sticky sticker, we can see the camera. On the plain E1, the lens is actually a lot smaller, or the sensor is a lot smaller. On the front, we can also see that both cameras have the little LDR, which tells it when it's nighttime, and so will activate the night vision, or the IR LEDs. And they've also got a microphone on the front as well. And that's the same on both. On the bottom, we've got the mounting hardware. So the bracket, once you've mounted it to the wall, I imagine, will just sit in and twist. So let's have a quick look at the features that apply to both cameras. They have a 355-degree pan and a 50-degree tilt. They have motion detection, local storage, remote viewing from the app, two-way audio, and 40-foot night vision. Now, if you look at the comparison between the two, The quality of the E1 is 3 megapixels, whereas the E1 zoom has 5 megapixels. The viewing angle on the E1 is only 82 degrees, whereas the E1 zoom, because obviously it zooms in and out, you go between 48 and 98 degrees. The Wi-Fi band on the E1 is just 2.4 GHz, whereas with the zoom you can also attach it to a 5 GHz Wi-Fi network. Obviously, the zoom has 3 times optical zoom and the E1 doesn't. And then the zoom also has RTSP stream available and ONVIF support and FTP or file transfer protocol available, which are great little features, especially if you're security conscious or you have your own NAS or recording service for your cameras. Now there's cloud storage available for both cameras, and there's actually a free package which gives you 1 GB of storage for one camera and can record up to 7 days of footage. You can then pay a varying amount to get more footage, more storage, more days and more cameras. It's worth noting that this isn't actually available in the UK, but it is available in the US if you're interested. Okay, let's set them up. For this, we're going to need the Reolink app. Okay, so we're connected and we click on the add. And we need to scan the QR code, so I suppose you better plug these in. We access the camera and we scan it. It's very easy. It's a very small QR code, so I'm impressed that it scanned that quickly. You need to configure Wi-Fi. Oh, okay.
Please run Reolink app. Add the camera and set it up.
There we go. We've heard the voice prompt, so we click that and press next. We don't want to use that. Now we can...
Please run Reolink app. Add the camera and set it up.
Okay, and then, so I've entered my Wi-Fi SSID and password, and then we want the camera to scan.
Please run Reolink. Scan succeeded. Camera is connecting to your router. Please wait. Into the router succeeded. Welcome to Reolink.
Fantastic. If you can't hear, the speaker is very loud. So actually it would shock someone if you were to have seen them break into your house and you were to make a...
Connection to the router succeeded. Welcome to Reolink.
So we're entering the password. Not sure what this password's for. Name of camera. Zoom. We have a camera. There we go. Okay, that was quite a long delay, wasn't it? I'm not sure why that was quite such a long delay, but that was a long delay. What else have we got on here? So we can zoom in and see the whole screen. It's a bit boring. Pause and play. The stream, we can turn on audio, which would create a feedback loop, so I won't do that quite so much. We can take a snapshot, that's quite nice. I'm not sure where that goes, but a nice little feature, and I imagine that's a recording. So again, nice to be able to do that on the fly. And then we can change our mode, which I'm guessing is our quality, from fluent balanced to 5 megapixels. So fluent wasn't particularly good when it came to moving and speed. Balanced is actually a bit quicker. And at 5 megapixels, so let's see what settings we have. We can rotate the screen, so this is, I imagine, if you've got it mounted on the ceiling, you can flip it. And a privacy mask. So that blocks out a specific area of the camera. For this example, I won't let you see the clock. Oh, look at that. You can't see the clock. What if I move? Move us. Ah, well, that's not very good, is it? I can see the time. Now we can also set our exposure, our white balance, our backlight, and our 3D DNR. what else have we got? That's all there is for those settings. So then we've got motion detection. You can set the sensitivity. You can set custom sensitivity schedules. That's quite a nice little feature, isn't it? So between certain times, you change the sensitivity. My camera recording is on, which means the camera will record the videos for the SD card, if I had an SD card in there, which I don't at the moment. You can schedule that depending on the day of the week and time of the, so how long it records for basically, and whether you want to have it recording when you're at home, when you're away. By the looks of things, there's no way to change that here with motion, with presence detection. So if you're at home to turn it off, but I'm guessing that might be something else. And then post motion recording duration. Yeah, useful. Just make sure you catch the end of it. And then previous videos will be overwritten with new files once the storage is full. Push notifications, let's turn them on. Notify me! Oh golly. So again, schedules, customize the push notifications at different times. Email alerts, good to know. If you're getting push notifications though, you probably don't need to be emailed, so whatever. A siren, sirens will sound when motion is detected. Then you can share the camera using a QR code to your friends and family so they can just add it to their phones. Oh, advanced, what have we got? User management, how exciting. Different users, meh. Date and time, cool. FTP upload. So that means you can upload your files over the network to a storage something or other, somewhere or other. Nice little feature. It means you don't have to rely on your SD card. You could have it elsewhere, which is probably going to be more secure. So if someone comes in and steals your SD card, your files are already backed up elsewhere. If we go into high quality for both streams, then we should see a real difference. So on the E1, I look a lot more natural than I do on the E1 Zoom. This is very bizarre. I have to say, I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought the E1 Zoom wasn't too bad, but actually, it's quite a bit worse. And yet, when I zoom in, it's actually nice and clear. Whereas when I zoom into this one, it's definitely a lot grainier and more pixelated. So I think the next thing I could do is test the motion timing, or the motion detection with it, isn't it, I suppose? So if I point them both that away, now, it's been a week or so and I've been using the Reolink cameras side by side to get a proper feel for them. And I've learnt a few things that I'd like to share with you. First of all, the snapshot feature that I mentioned earlier, where you can grab a snapshot of the frame, saves the photo directly to your phone's camera roll. I imagine if you had an SD card in there, it would also save it to that, but it's nice to be able to capture it directly to your current device. Secondly, I was complaining about the picture quality on the Zoom compared to the E1 earlier. Now, when you actually have them set up pointing at a room, the difference is barely noticeable. It's definitely not off-putting when you're just looking at the E1 Zoom, and even when you have them side by side, you can't really tell the difference. I should also mention the Reolink desktop client. Now, this app has the same functionality pretty much as the phone app, but it's nice to be able to see all your cameras on a larger screen, and you can also access all the settings much easier because it's not hidden within menu upon menu. There's also a nifty little extra feature where you can preset some preset positions for your pan tilt zoom. So if you have a certain position that you want to go to and come back to often, then you just click on it and it moves it directly there rather than having to fiddle with the pan tilt and zoom separately. I should also mention there's a clip feature. This is a feature available both on the app and on the client. This is basically where on the E1 Zoom, it's not available on the normal E1, but on the E1 Zoom you can clip in and zoom into a small kind of square area of your photo. There is also a web interface for the E1 Zoom. It doesn't work on the E1, but on the E1 Zoom, and it looks similar to the desktop client, but it's just a little bit clunkier and a bit slower to respond. There's also a scene setting that you can set up. This enables you to create a scene like home and away, where you turn on or off various different features such as notifications, email notifications, recording, and the siren alarm. This is a great idea, but it actually takes quite a while for the scene to activate once you've pressed it, and there's no way to set it automatically based on, for example, time of day or location services. So it's a bit of a pain in the arse to do. Now the zoom on the E1 Zoom is only 3 times, so it's not actually that far. But I suppose if you combine that with the digital zoom via the clip feature, it does help you out a little bit. But in conclusion, both cameras are great and I've really enjoyed using them. The E1 is a great camera if you just want it to point at your front door or maybe watch the dog while you're out. But if you actually want some decent features and you're maybe slightly more security conscious, so you want to make use of the RTSP stream or the OnVIF support or the file transfer protocol, then you need to get the E1 Zoom. If you want to get these cameras, I've left a link below to Amazon and to the Reolink website. If you use the Reolink website, then make sure you use the promo code YTB5WILL, and that will get you 5% off any Reolink product on their website. Sorry again that this video is quite long. This is my first time doing a review, and trying to cover everything I want to over 2 cameras in a short time just isn't possible. As always, feel free to leave me a comment below or message me on social media if you have any feedback about my content, or if you have any ideas of content that you'd like me to create in the future. So there we go, the Reolink E1 and E1 Zoom. Make sure you hit subscribe and click the bell icon below to find out more about my smart tech and how you can build yourself the ultimate smart home.